This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk a lot of DeVonta Smith. Also, Lane Johnson replacement possibly coming in the first round. And lastly, we got to talk about AJ Brown putting in off-season work. But let's get straight into it. All right, man. Like I said, this video is going to be a lot of DeVonta Smith. He was on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony. And that's, more the basketball side. I know a lot of us watch basketball. Some of us do, some of us don't. But I've seen some clips I really like. And there was a clip where he talked about Jalen Hurts and how Jalen Hurts is in his big five and how Jalen Hurts basically took him under his wing in Alabama. And that's the big reason why he went there. And he was very happy coming to Philadelphia because he's like, man, if the city don't really mess with me, at least I know I got my guy Jalen Hurts. But let me play this clip.
And I know with us, everybody be like, oh, we don't like each other and stuff like that. But really, we really do. And when we talk to each other like that, we feed off each other's energy. Like Jalen love when we come to him like, hey, bro, he can't see me. Throw me the ball over here. Jalen love it. And people think that it's us getting on him when it's not. We just having this conversation like, bro, he can't do nothing with me. Let's get to it. And he right there ready for it.
Yeah. Talk to me about you and Jalen's relationship, because y'all had some time together at Alabama. You know what I mean? Now you're here in Philadelphia. Y'all won Super Bowl together. And you probably know him a lot more or on a different level than a lot of the other offensive players over there. So when you going into that huddle and, in your perspective, you might know that he likes being talked to like that, but not everybody knows him the way you know him.
Facts.
What was sort of like, I guess the question I want to ask is, talk to me about the initial relationship you had with Jalen in Alabama and how it's evolved since you became the, Eagles together.
So it was two reasons I went to Alabama. Jalen was one reason, and Coach Burns was the other reason. And every time I went up there, I was with Jalen, and like that at that time, that's all I like. I knew Jalen, I knew Shy. It was the only two people I knew. So just being there, I was comfortable with him, knowing that okay, if I do go, he's gonna be the quarterback. He's somebody I can relate to, somebody I have a relationship with. So I was like, okay, I'm cool there. And then it was just like, end of the day, it's football. We two guys had the same mindset. Like, we here to dominate. We here to play football. We ain't with all the extra stuff. And I think that's why the relationship was so good, and the conversations that we have, whether it's, uncomfortable conversations or not, like, don't nobody get in their feelings because we have that relationship. And I think, when I got drafted to Philly, man, I was happy as hell. Like, I got my dog here, I know he was vouching for me. And it was just like, we about to pick up where we left off at. And it was just so good to have that relationship, to get in there, because, in the league, it's kind of different from college.
Right.
In college, when you get there, it's not I would say expectations for you to come in and do this. When you get to the league, you drafted, first round, your expectations to come in and produce. Yeah. So it was like, it made me more comfortable being with him, someone that, I had that relationship with, I kind of had a connection to, and just knowing that if I don't got nothing else in this city, I know I got him. And like, that's just made it so.
See what I mean? Like, bigging up Jalen Hurts. And we tend to get stuck on the Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown relationship. But DeVonta Smith and Jalen Hurts relationship is big. Like, they got a really big relationship. They knew each other for a very long time. DeVonta Smith seen the downs of Jalen Hurts being benched and then going to another college. He's seen the downs in Philadelphia. And they eventually reached the top of the top. And that's winning a Super Bowl. So, shout out to those two. But again, like I said, a lot of DeVonta Smith. So let's talk about DeVonta Smith. All right. So DeVonta Smith spoke about how, the Super Bowl was cool, but the joy he get out of playing football is breaking the DBs. But let me play this clip.
The culmination of everything, but judging from that quote, that sounds like a dude who is...
I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of agree with him.
Okay.
Because like for me, I done played at the biggest game on every stage. And I think for me, the Super Bowl, it felt like that just because I was at home. And like, it was just the emotion of me being home. But like, once we won, it was just kind of like,
Really?
Yeah. Like,
let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's get back to it. Like, I think if the Super Bowl was anywhere else, I wouldn't have like been emotional, and it wouldn't have seemed like it was so much for me.
Well,
I think
let's think
it was
about
just
it,
because
right?
I was at home.
You back home, you know what I mean? You played.
Now, I would say,
thinking wrong, motherfucker. Like, it's back to work.
When he was saying about, the DB putting his head down and stuff like that, you get a rush from something like that.
Yeah.
Like when you out there just cooking a dude, and like you can tell when he defeated and he just don't want no more. Like you get a rush from something like that, and it's just like there is no feeling better than that in the game of football than when you dominating the person.
I love it. I love it. He said, I want to break the DB. That's why I get out of it. Seeing the DB head down, he know he can't stop you. That's the joy of football he get. So we got some good reckless guys on our team. AJ Brown love to see the DB break. DeVonta Smith love to see the DB break. Jalen Hurts, all he want to do is win. So look, man, we are good. We are good. And let's talk about this draft a little bit. So the Eagles are having first 30 visits or something like that. That's usually guys they possibly going to get in the first round. But they haven't been no skill position. It wasn't no safety. Wasn't no wide receiver or anything like that. It just been O-linemen, former tackles, left tackles, and right tackles. Swings, like you could play guard, could play tackle. That's all we've been visiting on our own top 30 visits. So that tells me that people gonna be disappointed in the draft because everybody keeps saying we need a safety. We need a safety. This, that, and the third. I'm sorry to break it to you. It look like that's not going to happen because based on Howie Roseman's track record, when he visit like certain positions, that's what he usually get. He usually do it about 80% of the time. The last position we got and we really didn't visit him was Andre Dillard. But everybody else, it was a visit. We liked the guy and how we usually draft the guy. So it looked like we're going to go old lineman. Again, that's going to disappoint a lot of fans, but I see the vision. You lose Fred Johnson. Lane Johnson is going to play about 2 more years. You lose Mekhi Becton. Eventually, you're going to need some depth. So I'm not mad at us having a last pick and just getting a tackle, a swing tackle at that. I would not be mad at all and just prepare him for the future like how we prepared Tyler Steen, because right now it's Tyler Steen time unless somebody beat him out. But yeah, you want to groom this guy. This is like more depth pieces I think we're looking for. I don't think we're looking for immediate starters unless it's a safety. Then I could see that happening, and also possibly not seeing that happen because at some point I think Sidney Brown deserves a shot. So I think we go into this draft with depth mindset, or hell, we might make a big trade. Trayvon Walker, I'm just saying, maybe a big trade or whatever. I could see that happening too, but we just got to wait and see and watch and see. I said let the free agency go by before we think of anything, because everybody kept saying we need an edge rusher. Now you get O'Shea, and then you get, Azeez Ojulari, and then you got Nolan Smith already and Jalen Hunt and stuff like that. So do we really need edge really early? Possibly not, especially with a deep edge rushing group in this draft. So now you look at that. The only thing people are not sold on right now is the safety position. So Sidney Brown just got a lot to prove. Got a lot to prove, man. But last but certainly not least, we got to talk about my guy AJ Brown. I remember he was on $1 million worth of game, like how he's just going to do a bunch of things just to improve his game. He said, "Hell, I'm thinking about taking ballet just to, get the toes right. So when I, toe tap in the touchdown or to the sideline, whatever." So this is why he get paid a lot of money, because he just do anything. So right now, AJ Brown is just taking swim classes, preparing for the season. And I'm not surprised, because I know last year he was doing a lot of boxing. I'm pretty sure we're going to see boxing from AJ Brown sooner rather than later. But let you know, man, AJ Brown's not just a guy getting his money, buying jets and jewelry all day, which he's probably buying his jewelry, doing this thing around his house or whatever. But at the same time, he's still putting in the work. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think of how do you feel about the news today? Look like we're gonna get an offensive lineman in the draft. How you guys feel about that? DeVonta Smith speaking his mind. I love it. And AJ Brown putting in a lot of work. Putting in a lot of work, man. And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.